Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, ladies, gentlemen, boys, and girls. Welcome to another episode of City Skylines with the Immaculate Tortoise. Guys, it is Wednesday, but let's get straight into it. How's everybody doing? Hope everybody's okay. Let's get into some good old city building. Last time we left off here, we were looking to get some kind of harbor connection here. Guys, I must say I'm very disappointed because there are no lines, there are no harbor lines where we can purchase a harbor here, link it to anywhere. There are no shorelines, or there are no routes that are available for us. So it's very disappointing, to be honest. I'm very disappointed about that. But it's not the end of the world. But with that said, I took it upon myself to do some research regarding just maritime traveling, just ships in general. We'll get back to that in a little while, but yeah, we've got 20 minutes to play this, so let's see what we can do in 20 minutes. Of course, I was looking to build this area, but I'm gonna delay that for a little bit. Suppose we can build some more here, expand a little bit outwards. We've got this railway over here. I suppose we can build like a little passage here. The passage, or maybe over the mountains, or I don't know. Connect them over here and connect this little section here. I don't want to make it like passage type of yeah, we want to keep this as realistic as possible. So if we are gonna build over here, it's gonna be some kind of a curved road from here to here. From here to here, I suppose build a highway. I don't know, but what do we build? Should we populate this little area here and make this more dense? Tell you what, we'll focus our efforts on making these areas dense. Yeah, we'll focus on making these areas dense. But do we have enough citizens? That's the question. I suppose we could build over here, make this a residential section. Yeah, we'll make this residential, this second half residential. And we'll split them here, about there. Because we don't want too much. We don't want the residents too close to the commercial zone because of the noise. So we'll put a road here to split them, and we'll put a road here to start the residential zone there. And yes, this will be the residential zone within the high-rise district of our little city here. So we're gonna do this just plain and simple. We want to keep this as realistic as possible because there is a lot of goofyism that goes on in City Skylines with me. I just build stuff goofily, and I don't know whether goofily is a word, but we just build things randomly. And yeah, it's cool to have the ability to just draw something, but want to keep that realism, keep it human-like, not alien, of course. Want to keep it human-like. That's the thing about City Skylines, you can get carried away, so gotta keep things as real as possible. Does that work? This is all little residential, high-rise residential park. We have high-rise apartment buildings, so connect them there, connect them there. Does that work? Yes, it does. Okay, so now we fill this little section with high-rise residential buildings. Don't want so again, this separates them. This is all gonna be high-rise commercial. The reason why I've done this is because there are complaints regarding there is not enough people to work these jobs here, so we need a direct connection for them. Of course, this is all gonna be what do we make? This is all going to be high-rise as well. This is going to be high-rise that commercial zone. So we're going to build some more commercial buildings here. So, I think that's a bit disheartening about this is it appears as if they're following the similar pattern here, but who knows, man. They're not following the similar pattern. I mean the styles of the buildings, the the commercial buildings themselves, it appears as if they have the same pattern. It's the same building, but hope not. I seriously hope not, because it's quite disheartening. Yeah, this is our little. This is gonna be not little. Sorry, this is our little. Why do I keep saying little? This is our. It's an extension of the commercial zone over here. Of course, we'll connect them there. We'll connect them here too. Hope that doesn't affect traffic. But again, we don't want to be too goofy with this. The objective is to avoid the goofy-ness. It looks bad after a while. But of course, we are all grid from start to finish. This is nothing but grid. Of course, this little section here separates them. As a matter of fact, this is a good opportunity for me to introduce some trees into this little zone here. Of course, we are in a desert, so we gotta use these desert trees, I suppose. Yeah, of course we are in the desert, so we're gonna just introduce desert trees, palm trees. Can we? Just palm trees, something like that. Can we fill this up with just palm trees? Oh boy, they need electricity. First thing, right? They need electricity. What do we do with this? Do we increase the size of the brush? That's a bit too big. I'll just fill this up with palm trees just to separate them. Yeah, we'll do that. Thing about palm trees, they're not really dense trees, but they're cool. They're not dense trees, so they don't really tend to fill the little small gaps. So we'll try and fill this up. As you can see, it's not the best, but it separates them. We're trying stuff here. The objective is just to separate them all together. I mean, you are no water. Okay. Let us connect you here. I should deal with the water issue there. Of course, we're gonna buy choose and select some kind of park or some sort. Over here, one of those big parks. Over here, of course, we want this over here on the opposite side, so they can travel. We go to these things. Even that doesn't connect the electricity to them. I was hoping it would connect. They're really upset about this whole electricity issue, aren't they? We're trying. Let's not rush. Oh, there they are. They've got electricity now, so what's the issue? They're connected. Is the electricity not enough? It's been generated. So they've got loads of electricity. So what's the issue here? What's the issue? This is not enough. 1, 2 are connected there. It's not enough. Trying to avoid pylons. Is the game paused? The game is paused. I never knew that. The game is paused. It's me thinking that there's an electricity issue, but the game's paused. So the game's not. It should disappear in a second now. There we go. Beautiful. Just what we like to see. But yeah, this looks a bit weird. The trees. That's what I'm saying. Palm trees don't really that dense. Get rid of these. Have to delete these one by one. Of course, guys, I am a tree lover. I don't advocate for the destruction of trees. Whenever you cut down a tree, plant a new one in its place. But it takes a long time for a tree to grow, guys. So it's a I mean, I don't know. You gotta think about what you're doing, you know. Don't just cut down trees for the sake of cutting down trees. There are some people out there who cut down trees just for the sake of cutting down trees. But again, it takes a long time for a tree to grow. Again, you know, if a human being is able to nurture a tree, to look after a tree, to ensure the tree grows to become this big giant tree, it will provide for that human being in the long run. So it's a symbiotic existence, a symbiotic relationship. Man looks after tree, tree looks after man. So you got to understand this when it comes to trees. You look after the tree, and the tree will look after you. And of course, the tree is our oldest sibling. Of course, everything that's on this planet today is our sibling. We all contain the same ingredients, the same genetic makeup. So there was a sense of family there. What comes from Earth belongs to Earth. If you were to go to Venus or Mars, to be honest, we are all in the same solar system. So we are all one big giant beautiful family. So those trees or whatever, even though there are not trees on Venus, if they are that have not been discovered, there's still a sense of connection. But again, what I'm trying to say to you guys is, you look after a tree and a tree will look after you, in other words. So just be careful when cutting down trees. Don't just cut things down for the sake of it. There was a sense there. There's a mother nature. Mother nature is it's there for a reason. It's everywhere. It's a part of our existence. We are mother nature. She has filled us with this love, right? Filled us up with this love of ours. Just be careful cutting down trees. So that's what we've built so far. So back to the ships. I'm quite disappointed because I wanted to have ship cargo port, or port itself, where it would allow people to come into the city by ship, but there's no line here, so we cannot connect them. So it's quite disappointing. But with that said, I did some research on my iPad, sorry, on my notepad, not an iPad, can't afford an iPad, on my notepad, and it turns out, right, a sailing ship, a sailing ship is a sea-going vessel that uses sails mounted on masts. Early sailing ships were used for rivers and coastal waters in ancient Egypt. You see, that's the founding place of civilization. The Egyptians civilized the world, and yes, even ships, just these basic things that we don't think about today came from such a place. Just truly an amazing group of people. Truly an amazing group of people. So ships come from Egypt, and here we are today, able to just use a mouse to select a ship here and just create a harbor instantaneously and be able to provide for one, right? So we built here this little district here, this little residential district here, which is high rise, which connects here. So they've got a decent supply of people instantaneously. Of course, I'm gonna have to connect this here. Let's go over here. Let's quickly connect here by route. What do you mean? Okay, that's said and done. They can go that way. Go work in a few hours. Very niche point, and man, it's very disheartening. Of course, you got to work. This is work, guys. YouTube is work. YouTube is hard work. It's not easy. So I work a multitude of jobs. Is this the easiest one I've got? No, this is actually the most difficult one. Because it's hard work. Plain simple, it's hard work. But hard work has never hurt anybody. Hard work has never hurt a single soul. You got to be willing to put up with the discomfort. Not that you can't do it, you just haven't learned. I've said it to you. Distance what? Distance too short. What is this? Distance too short. I don't know what you mean by that. But put a car park there. Put as many things as possible into this little residential zone here. Across. Yeah, this separates this little section here separates the residential and the commercial zone to avoid the noise issue, because they begin to complain. Wow, I like that. I like that a lot. So I'm keeping that there. It's just full of things, places. What's the general term for these? I don't even know what the general term for these things are. The umbrella word. What do they call them on here? Parks and plazas. So this isn't just in parks and plazas. There's a general word for these things. And leisure centers, no, not leisure centers, but nature reserves, maybe. The modern nature reserves, but I think they're places that people can go and enjoy themselves and relax. And of course, I don't know what the general term is. You're gonna have to forgive me on that aspect, but make sure that they've got them here. There's pathways. From there, come on. Okay, connect them there. Be further back. Go here, come on. Boom. Okay, no, that's a dirt one, so we cannot do anything about that. Oh, we had the pavement selected. Wow, just wow. Can we connect this? Is it possible? What are these little sections here for? No, we cannot. Can we connect this here? No, we cannot. If we do this here, I wonder. Yeah, but this little section here is nice. Actually, it turned out okay, to be honest. Now that I think, now that I look at it from a bird's eye view, it's turned out okay. Guys, so that's what we've done so far. We've built this little section there. Let's get out of this little building mode. So we built this residential section here, which connects them directly here. So they've got these two residential sections here. Two direct residential sections that are very close to the high-rise residential, to the high-rise commercial district, because they're complaining not enough people, not enough workers, right? But now they've got this multitude of people who are very close by. So this should begin to fill out any second now. Then there shouldn't be an issue. But yeah, you can tell it's quite gridded out, which is the way we like it. As a matter of fact, maybe we should have made this into a double-laned road, but we might later on. But we're gonna have to fill this out as well later on. But we'll keep this little residential zone where it is. We want to expand that. We'll keep it. We'll keep that little small zone there. Maybe we might build another one on this side here. Who knows? Where else? Here, and then this will be just commercial. We've got this issue regarding traffic now, so we're gonna have to now connect this. Might as well do it now because we've got time. So we're gonna have to use a big 6-lane road. It does a 6-lane road to connect to the city to avoid the traffic issue. What's the difference? This one's, oh, this is 4-laned. Wow. Okay. Here we are, big 4-laned road. Now eventually they should realize and begin to use this route here. They cannot all be going that direction. Some of them have got to use this. Well, that's said and done, guys. So that's it for this episode of City Skylines. I hope you have an amazing day wherever you are. God bless you, of course. If you have gone through difficult times, if you feel as if you're carrying the weight of the world on your shoulders, remember, prayer is just a few words away. Just pray to God and you'll find the way, guys. You'll find the way. God always finds the way. He's an amazing God. He loves us truly. And he wants nothing but the best for us. And he wants us to continue to improve. So you've got to keep doing it no matter how uncomfortable it gets. But you'll figure it out sooner or later. That's said and done. Have an amazing day. This is the Immaculate Tortoise signing out. Peace out, man. We got 30 seconds, but we'll let it linger. So this is problematic for us now. So what do we do? They're stopping here. They're all trying to go either straight across or into this little zone here. But I've provided them that junction there. So it's becoming problematic. We'll have to figure this out in the next episode. Either we create another means of entering the city, which is going to be over here. But in the next one. So peace out. Have an amazing day. Bye-bye. Would love to live up here. Yeah.